Good morning, YouTube. It's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and I'm here for another wee video with you. And this morning's video, I'm not even sure what the title's going to be, but it's going to be something along the lines of, are you a reviewer collector or a lover user? And it's just about the things that when I first came around, I didn't know there was any sort of a difference. I just liked knives. I fancied getting in on the hobby. I had started buying because of the people I had watched on YouTube. And most of them were reviewers, to be honest. But I just wanted to give my take, and this is only my opinion, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I'm not trying to force my opinion on anybody. It's just how I see it now as somebody who's been in about 6 months. And it's just there's a couple of wee pitfalls that I sort of fell for. And they're by no means all reviewers are the same. All knife lovers are the same. We're all different. But there's a couple of wee pitfalls that you can drop into that I think is worth pointing out. So, before I do that, before I start, I'd just like to remind everybody the 3x2 tag is still going. If you go back down a couple of videos ago, I done mine. But in my playlists, if you go to my playlists, there's about 8 people have entered so far, and some of them are really funny, really good. It's lovely to see people having to make decisions about which one of their babies they choose. Go ahead along to my playlist and have a look at them, and then enter. If you feel as if you got 10 minutes to spare, it's one of those things that's do the video, you know, edit and just do it, throw it up, put it in the playlist, or let me know and I'll put it in the playlist, and we'll see how many people. And it's just a way of getting to know people and getting to see knives. I love to see knives that I mightn't normally see. So that out of the way, here's my choice, and I've chosen these specifically now today. Is my choice. It's a wee San Remo. This cost me about just under $5, and this is a Spyderco Ladybug, which cost me over in this country about $65. Okay, so there's a $60 difference between these two knives. Now, let's say on my reviewer collectible, they're not collectible, so really, if we can just replace these two for, a $50 knife and a $350 knife, if you use that as a comparison, this is a very broad discussion this morning. I can't go into every detail, so excuse me. Before I came to YouTube for my channel, I had bought this already, and I bought the Delica, I bought a couple of other knives. And the reason I bought this knife, I bought the Delica because I'd watched so many reviews. When you're first looking into the YouTube world, you listen to reviews, and there's some really polished reviewers out there who are brilliant at it, absolutely brilliant, and who are genuinely honest in their reviews of the knives. There's collectors who are genuinely honest, and they tell you exactly why they wanted the knife. There might be flaws, but they can look past that because it's a knife that they want. And every knife has a flaw. No matter what knife it is, there'll be something that you maybe don't like as much as other knife. So if you keep that in your head, a reviewer is somebody who's, well, there's a couple of types of reviewers. There's a viewer who gets paid for doing it and will nearly like everything that's put in front of him. Or there's a reviewer who gets paid for it, but's not doing it for the money and gives you an honest opinion of the knife no matter whether he's getting paid or not. And then there's the in-betweens, as there is in all walks of life. Some are, some aren't, not so sure what to do, so they sort of follow a trend, and they'll maybe, you can see they've watched somebody else's review and they're picking up the same tiny wee fault that maybe only one person should have noticed. So you've that sort of reviewer. Knife lovers and knife users are, in my case, they can be blind to a lot of things. They can look over a lot more things. If the knife's a good user, they'll love it. If the knife has faults and there's a good user, they'll still like it. They'll just get past that fault. Whether it's be using a Dremel to get over a lump problem, but they'll find a way if they like that knife. If it's a good user, they'll find a way. And the difference is that when you go looking for a knife, make sure that you shop around. Don't just go to the person that's got 3 million subscribers and or the person who's got, the new reviewer out who maybe only has 5,000 subscribers might be giving you a better opinion, might be giving you a more honest opinion. And maybe if you review something that you have, that they have reviewed, and see what you think. That's my way of comparing now, is if I go to somebody, I look to see if they got a knife that I have, I listen to their review and think, yeah, I think exactly the same, or maybe just, close. So I'll know that that person has give me, and that's only my opinion, has give me a fair review of something I bought for the same reasons. And that's a great way of finding out who's the reviewer or who's the collector that you like, that gives you the closest to what you like. And that is very important to me because, again, a knife lover or a knife user just goes on what somebody says, this is a good worker. Okay, I'll try that. The price really doesn't come into it. If it's a good worker, even sometimes looks don't come into it. If it's a good worker, it'll do. And this is what we've got in front of you here, up front this morning. As a knife lover, this is a much better made knife. Well, maybe not made, but it's much better quality in the materials used than this. No, not much better, but it is. This is VG10. It's constructed really, really well with a back lock. FRN, which is much better than the plastic on this one. 8CR13. But this one, I'm trying to separate them. This is a really cheap mod. Now, saying that, it locks up perfectly solid. If the back lock is good, listen to that. There is no movement up or down on that. Exactly the same as this. There's no movement up or down. This actually feels a bit flimsier compared to this. And yet this is a $65 knife and this is a $5 knife. So which one do I want? If I want something to have in my pocket to bring out and just show people, this is the one you want to buy. That's what you want to buy. It is lovely. Sadly, I'm a user. As you can see, this is well and truly used, scratched, because I've sharpened it and some dodgy things. Because that's what I am. I'm a knife user. I love knives. All sorts of knives. Should they be the highest end, which I just get so much pleasure watching. I was watching Stas's video, Stasa23, last night, where they had 5 Riat knives. Absolutely stunning. I could watch them all night. I love seeing people enthused at what they're collecting or what they're using. But for me, who's just around, I'm not even going to mention money, but I really just buy a knife to use. My most expensive knife, I'll use. I keep saying I'm not. I'm going to keep it to the side, and then I use it. Much the same when I paid $65 for that, when I realised how much it was and I could have bought that for $5, that does exactly the same as this. I sharpen this a wee bit more than I sharpen this because there's a better hollow grind in this and it sharpens on a strop in seconds. This does sharpen on a strop too, but it's not a hollow grind. This slices better than this. But again, this is better materials. Comes from a more reputable company than this because this is Chinese and this is an American-made company, although this is made in Japan. So, how would I review these knives? And I've been sort of thinking how I would go about it. And I know for a start that an awful lot of reviewers would lift this and say, this is a $5 knife, it's a piece of crap. The 8CR13 dulls really quickly. Why would you spend $5? It looks plastic. It's, don't bother. Now, this is a beautiful knife. This is a Spyderco, who is one of the top companies. They make a absolutely stupendous quality knife. Torque screw construction. The blade is VG10. For a small knife, that's a fantastic blade to use. And this cuts just as well as it looks. Man or woman can use this. There's even a man bug that's a wee bit bigger. I think it's a fraction bigger, but it's a man bug. And this is what I would recommend because this is quality and this will last you. Now, that is a wee bit of an exaggeration of a or of a reviewer doing them two knives. Some reviewers would never even review that because it's not worth anything to them. They're not going to get the views for a $5 knife. Some collectors wouldn't, either one of the two of them. But if there were that price difference in them, 50 and 350, this one, $50, wouldn't get on their channel because it's not collectible at $50. So this is what you've got to sort out in your head before you take the advice of somebody. Now, if this is me reviewing this, I would look at these and say, this is $5. It's a groovery handle. It's quite, there's a bit of grip there for it. It's solid. The lockback is very solid. Open and close as well. Completely solid. Nice bit of jimping on the top there that holds your hand in place. It's small. It's slim. You wouldn't feel it. It's under an ounce. You just throw it in your pocket and you'll not feel that. But it's great for doing everyday jobs. Little jobs about the house. I like secondary knives. This is a great secondary knife because the blade's not too small. Let me see. The blade is it's just over 2 inches. So, that's not a small blade. And this blade cuts. This is breakfast box cereal. This blade cuts through it like paper. Because it is. So, this is $5. I recommend this fully. And I do recommend this fully. It's a super knife. Absolutely super. It is rock solid. It has not moved. I've used it to cut up so many boxes. And it's literally a wee strop most of the time just brings it back again. And I'll not do that until the end of the night. This does me a whole day. Yep, for $5. Now, this knife is a great knife. I like this knife. It's cute, and it is cute. And look, it cuts. It actually maybe cuts a nice true cut. Well, no, it doesn't. It just cuts exactly the same. Funny. Oh, right. Okay. It cuts just as good as that. It's solid. The lock is great. It's under an ounce. It weighs nothing in your pocket. Which would I recommend? I'm going to leave that open because that is the point of this video. It's just you have to think before you buy. What do you want the knife for? Do you want it to impress somebody? Because to me, and when I bought this, I wanted that because it was a Spyderco. I wanted that because I'd listened to reviewers saying Spyderco make the best knives. And they probably do. Compared to San Maru, they're probably much better. But, and there's a huge but, just be careful. And that's all I'm saying, is just be careful who you're taking. Because if I had the same choice again, would I spend $65 on that or $5 on that and get the same work out of it, the same use out of it? I actually don't mind the look of that. It's not much worse. That's plastic, and that's plastic. That's fancy plastic. That's cheap plastic. But it doesn't feel any difference in my hand when I wrap it around it. I can't see much of a difference. And it works harder. I think it's 2-inch blades better than the shorter blade there. So, and that's why I would look at these knives now. There's $65 is bloody ridiculous in my opinion for that. Now, it's maybe cheaper in America. That's what I have to pay for it here. $5 I pay for that here delivered to my door. I'll buy them every time in future. I've got that one and I'll use that one. I'm getting colour coordinated now. I have a nice wee lighter to go with that. I just need a flashlight that colour. But that's why I'd be doing it, just for a bit of... This is my glamour push knife and this is the work knife. And that's the difference between somebody that's reviewing something. If you review something, the materials on this here far outweigh the materials on this. But you can throw this to the side and say, nah, I'm not going to have it. That $5 does as much work as this, if not more, because I take this and I'll sharpen this on a stone at the side of the street. Will I do with a $65 knife? I have, to be honest, used some rough things, but that's because I'm a knife lover user rather than a keeper. I want it to sit and look pretty. I do use mine. Now, if it was one of my better quality, when I say better quality, when it's one of my dearer knives, I'll I'll take this with me. I'm not going to take this with me when I've got a deer knife. If I'm running about the house in a tracksuit, that's great. I just throw up my tracksuit. There's not much difference in weight, but I know I'm only going to be around the house, and I like flicking this one better. I like sitting fiddling with it. The back lock's a bit freer than it is in that one. So that's my fiddle knife. That's my working knife. So I suppose what I'm saying is if you're just around, be careful why and who you're picking or you're basing your opinions on. If you've got a few knives, and anybody who comes into this already has a few knives, look for reviewers that have reviewed your knife, one of the knives that you've got, and see if it agrees with your opinion. And if it does, you'll know you're on fairly good ground and you can make a good decision. Collectors are a completely different breed, and collectors are amazing. I love collectors because they show you stuff that are in your dreams as a knife lover, and I'm a knife lover. They show me stuff that I'll never ever probably get to touch, but I can get to see it through them. I can feel their passion. A good collector has got passion, and you feel it in the sentence that they give. You feel it in the love that they have for that $3,000 knife they've got in their hand that is just so beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't even cut a bit of paper with it. It's so beautiful. So be careful not be careful who you view everybody. Do as much research as you can. But sometimes weigh up the value, the money, what you're going to use the knife for. Do you want it to look pretty or do you want it to work? Do you want to pay money for that knife to look pretty or cheap for a knife that'll just do the job? So my decision, if I was to do the same again, would I buy this? No, I would buy this. If I had $65 spare and I wanted a wee pretty knife that I could throw on my tracksuit going to the gym if I want to take off to look good. But to be honest with you, I'd take that. I don't really. Have you seen my legs? You know I wouldn't worry about looking good in the gym. So I'm a belly. Now, I don't know whether that makes any sense to anybody or it helps anybody. It's just around. But what I say is just be careful. There's great reviewers out there. There's great collectors out there. There's knife lovers out there. And there's knife users out there. Get in with the people who you want to be with and use their opinions, because you'll find if they agree with something you've got, the chances are you're going to be on the same wavelength and you're not going to stray too far and spend hard-earned money on a knife that doesn't do any more than the cheaper one. So, there we go. That's it. These were all Paddy's opinions, so please don't take them to heart. But if you want a discussion down below, and I'll have to say, I've enjoyed, there's been great discussions down below recently on my channel with, my viewers. God, I'm sounding royal, aren't I? Well, I suppose so, yeah. But my viewers are starting to talk between themselves, and I just find that I got such a warm feeling when they started having discussions talking about where you can get this knife and what they liked about it, and somebody didn't know what it was and somebody else chipped in and told them. Absolutely great. Love it. Best viewers. I've got the best subs in the YouTube land, and they've been growing madly for about 2 days. So thank you so much again. Bye-bye. Paddy's out before I start. Bye.